Good morning and thank you for joining us on FRHSTV at home. I'm Tim Quinn.
And I'm Tom Nicely.
Tom, it is a true pleasure to have you here today for week 4 of FRHSTV at home.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Tim, and I'm very excited to get going with the news this week.
That's right. We have a lot of news stories, including the library's new delivery system and seniors trying out for class order.
Along with some interviews with Mrs. Garda and student Sam Cavalier, and 2 other students who created a nonprofit organization.
That's right. Indeed, a lot to look forward to later on in the show. But for now, this is the news. If you're still interested in the grab-and-go meal distribution, the Franklin Regional School District, along with Met's Culinary Management, is serving meals to any current Franklin Regional students or children age 18 or under who live in the Franklin Regional community. You do not need to be enrolled in the free and reduced lunch program to receive these meals. The distribution takes place each day from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. near the patio entrance of the Franklin Regional Senior High School. Meal request forms and menus are available on the FR website. We recently talked to 2 members of a Franklin Regional community who not only started a nonprofit of their own, but are now using it to help spread cheer during this pandemic. Here's our own Anthony DeFilippo with the story.
Hello, I'm here with junior Anoop Nadison and graduate Joseph Bonfiglio, who started a nonprofit and have recently been in the news for recent changes they have made to help out during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you both for joining us. Can you tell us how you and your family have been doing during this quarantine?
I guess I'll go first. I don't know what else to say. These times are crazy. We've just been staying indoors, following social distancing, the usual.
Yeah, same here. It's been difficult to, not do what we normally are accustomed to doing every day, but we make it through and try to do the best we can.
Glad to hear you guys are both doing well. Anoop, can you explain the main reason you both wanted to start your nonprofit, My Ground Strokes?
Yeah, so the main reason for starting My Ground Strokes was to create an impact in the society as well as helping out the less fortunate kids. So me and Joseph both figured that we could do this by creating a tennis program built to serve the underprivileged kids of our area because tennis was a thing that we both had in common and both a sport that we love.
Okay, Joseph, what has My Ground Strokes been able to do since it was started?
Yeah, so we started in early August of last year. We began a weekly tennis clinic with about 10 kids each week. This has been going strong year-round, except until recently due to the stay-at-home orders. But currently, we've been having lessons and games recorded online and put to our social media accounts so that we can keep in contact with our audience remotely, keep them active and whatnot.
Okay, Anoop, can you tell our viewers about what you decided to do to help out during the quarantine?
Yeah, so a big focus in our initiative is continuity and inclusion. So with that being said, what Joseph said is we've continued to serve these underprivileged children by making video lessons at home and posting on our social media. However, the main thing that we've been doing during this time is actually really exciting. We've been delivering bread to these frontline workers. And we've started this initiative to deliver as much bread as possible so that we can show these frontline doctors and all these workers all the appreciation as a community we have to the sacrifice and service that they're doing during these unprecedented times of COVID-19.
Okay, Anoop, what was the reaction when you made the deliveries?
So actually, I've been making the deliveries remote, so I don't actually get to see them. I just drop it at their door and I send them a message that I delivered the bread. That way we adhere to all the social distancing. But what I have seen is they send me messages. They're all super, super thankful. But in reality, we are more thankful to them for what they are doing during these times. And it's my pleasure to do something like this.
Okay, Joseph, do you have more planned for My Ground Strokes?
Yeah, our goal is to meet the full tennis need of the community. So if this means expanding our clinics when possible, we'd love to do that, maybe have multiple clinics in the future. So we're ready to take on anything like that may come. Our long-term goal is also to keep this mission going after we've been through the community. Once Anoop graduates, we'll both be off to college. But we want to be able to develop younger tennis players into future leaders that they can keep carrying on this torch indefinitely and hopefully keep serving the community as long as possible.
Okay, Joseph, this last question is for you. How can others watching help in the efforts you have started?
Yeah, right now we greatly appreciate any support by following us on social media at My Ground Strokes. That's just so that we can establish our message, get it throughout to the community so everyone can hear about it. And if anyone's interested in donating any supplies or if they're interested in volunteering in the future, they can also contact East Suburban Citizen Advocacy at escadvocacy@gmail.com.
Thank you guys both so much for joining today. I'm sure the people you are helping through your nonprofit are so appreciative. We hope you and your families continue to stay healthy and safe. Let's head back to Tim for the rest of the show.
Thank you, Anthony. Any senior interested in trying out as class order at graduation should reach out to Mrs. Stewart by Friday, May 8th. Please email her at kstewart@franklinregional.k12.pa.us if you are interested on being on the list for participants. More information will be emailed to those next week. The high school counselors are working very hard on a project for seniors. They would like to celebrate all the hard work you've done so far and plans for future. All seniors are asked to send in a picture and after high school plans to Mrs. Pollock at spollock@frsd.k12.org to be featured in the Counseling Department Senior Spotlight Series next week on our Google Classroom, our Instagram, at FR Counseling, and on the website. Local businesses all over the country are still trying to figure out ways to deal with their lack of business. Our own Brian Pampina talked with a local business owner whose business is on hold until things are back to normal.
Hi, this is Brian Pampina coming to you from my home. Today I'll be covering how the coronavirus is affecting the special event industry. On March 17th, Governor Tom Wolf banned all public gatherings of 50 or more people in the state of PA. This mandate hit the event industry extremely hard because of the new measures aimed at helping to stop the spread of the virus. All social gatherings, including weddings, corporate events, and fundraisers, had to be postponed or canceled. Today, I'm talking with Shane Solare, a Pittsburgh wedding and event planner, on the effects the coronavirus has had on her business and her clients. Hi, Shane. Thank you for joining me today. Can you tell me a little bit about your family and your business?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My family just moved to Franklin Regional in November, so I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. We're very excited to have them be future Franklin Regional students. My business is called Soiree by Solare. As you mentioned, I'm a wedding and event planner. My company works mostly on social events, so a majority of my business is weddings. I also do smaller parties and gatherings, and then some nonprofit black tie galas.
Okay. Can you tell me how the coronavirus has affected the events that you have planned for your clients?
Of course. So as you can imagine, with the ban on gatherings and the stay-at-home order, my business and my events are on a pause right now until we have some further information. We originally planned to have 4 events scheduled through the end of June. Right now, we have 0. What I'm working on with everything that's going on is I'm working to come up with postponement plans for clients. So I'm working with their vendors and venues to come up with backup dates for them. I'm also looking at as much as I can to learn about the COVID and what the legislation is going to come through. So if they're deciding to move forward with events when the company opens up, I'm looking at what are those events going to look like? Are we going to have cookie tables? Are we going to have buffets? Because those 2 things, there is a high risk for the spread of germs. So maybe switching to sit-down dinners and having prepackaged cookies. So those are just 2 examples of what I'm working on to plan for what their events are going to look like moving forward.
Okay. Did you find that if an event was postponing, was it for later this year or next year?
All of my events that have postponed thus far have moved to 2021. So they're postponing a full year.
Okay. I can imagine having to postpone your wedding would be difficult since most brides wait for this day their entire life. How have your future brides and even grooms handled this situation?
So as you can imagine, their initial reaction was that they were scared. They were very sad. For me, it was important to keep open and frequent communication with them. Once we started to realize that some of these stay-at-home orders and gathering bans were going to move throughout the summer, they were a little bit more open to postponing. So then we just put postponement plans into place. As I mentioned, I did move 4 of those events. One thing I wanted to tell them that I think was comforting for a lot of couples is, right now, another year may seem like a long time for you. But if you look at your overall life together, if you're going to be together for 40 or 50 more years, this will only make you stronger. This is just a small little blip in your overall life. So I think a lot of them found that comforting.
Did any of your clients decide to have a virtual gathering and forego having an event altogether?
No, I think a lot of my clients really wanted this big celebration, so they have not done virtual gatherings.
Have the different vendors like venues and rental companies have been lenient in rescheduling or canceling orders?
Yes, mostly everybody has been very understanding. I think we're all in this together. The Pittsburgh wedding and event community is a very tight-knit community, so they weren't charging extra fees to change dates. They were holding backup dates just in the hopes of future revenue coming in. There has been a little bit of talk about a full cancellation. So if a client decides to cancel as opposed to postpone, they have decided to stay true to their contracts and not be able to fully refund the amounts. Instead, that they prefer to transfer those deposits to new dates. As you can imagine, with events not happening, a lot of vendors, DJs, photographers, caterers, they're not working right now. So money is not coming in the door and refunds just aren't really possible right now. So as I mentioned, everybody's been very lenient about moving dates in the hopes of future income.
There's a lot of discussion by health experts that life will not return to normal until there's a safe vaccine. Do you anticipate that large gatherings will continue to be banned until a vaccine is available?
Yes, I think a lot of people are holding out on the vaccine. It's not just the client's comfort whether or not to move forward. They're also thinking about their guest comfort. I think a lot of guests are not going to be comfortable traveling to a wedding until that vaccine is in place.
Aside from weddings, who else will be most affected by this possibility?
Sure. So as you can imagine, this kind of ties into weddings, but the floral industry is being hit hard right now. Florists don't just do weddings, they do Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, general everyday orders. I was reading an article that the flower market is being hit really hard. There's a particular grower in Africa that employs 150,000 people to just cut roses. And all of them are out of work right now. Nobody is buying roses. So they're just cutting roses, throwing them away, and half of his employees aren't working. So those families right now aren't getting the support that they need. Another industry that I'm thinking of often is the travel industry. There are full countries that run on tourism and nobody is traveling right now. Airlines are having trouble. Travel agents are in trouble as well. So there are definitely other sectors of the economy that are feeling this.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. I'm sorry your industry has been so badly affected by COVID-19, but it sounds like you are hopeful that everything will eventually return to normal and that your clients are trying to stay positive. I hope everyone is staying safe at home. Now, let's go back to Tim and Ryan.
Thanks, Brian. The entertainment world has not been untouched by the stay-at-home orders. Celebrities all over the country are having to find new ways to reach their audiences. Our own Olivia Ciotti tells us more.
Thanks, guys. The coronavirus has caused lots of concerts, releases of movies, continuations of shows, and many other events to be postponed or canceled. Even daytime and late-night TV shows are being filmed at home, just like our own FRHSTV. Many talk show hosts such as Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Fallon, James Corden, and Jimmy Kimmel, and even the late-night Saturday Night Live is bringing laughs to people from a home virtual online platform. When they first announced that they were going to continue their show from home, many people weren't too sure about this new format and thought that they would miss the live audiences and normal production of the shows. But watching these celebrities film their shows at home without the fancy lighting, big cameras, or huge setups have been a welcoming change because we get to see these big celebrities in their own environments and being themselves, and sometimes we even get to see a glimpse of their kids or pets. Even in a global pandemic, talk show hosts are still finding a way to fight through it and continue to bring laughter and happiness to people during these tough times. On the other end of things, artists that had world tours or concerts that were scheduled for the spring or summertime have either gone postponed until further notice or canceled altogether. But as many artists know, music helps a lot of people relax and escape from the reality of things. So many artists like Coldplay, John Lennon, Pink, Niall Horan, and many more have went live on Instagram or other social media platforms and have sat in front of the camera with just a guitar or piano and put on a mini concert right in their homes for their fans to watch. Once again, celebrities are trying to find a way to fight through these hard times and bring joy to their fans in their own homes. That's all the news I have for you guys today. Stay safe, and now let's head it back over for the rest of the show.
Well, even though we aren't learning in a classroom, teachers are still finding ways to help their students understand the world around them. Our own Braden O'Brien recently talked with Mrs. Garda about how her computer science students are studying real-world issues facing all of us during this time.
Hello, I'm here with Mrs. Maureen Gard, who is a computer science teacher at the high school. First, thank you all for joining us today. Can you tell us how you and your family have been doing during this quarantine?
We're doing well. We've spent a lot of time together, and we're all healthy, and right now that's really all that matters. We're just enjoying being together and trying to stay safe.
All right, that's good. We know that computer science is an important field in technology, but we have recently been hearing about the computer science field is actually helping in the fight against COVID-19. Can you explain this?
Yes, it's definitely been used in a lot of areas related to the pandemic. And during a pandemic, some things you want to focus on are speed and data. We need to be able to make decisions, and we have to track things. And we've been working on treatments, and we're also creating apps, that will help people feel safe and secure, because people are going to be afraid to go out. So those are areas that computer science has been able to help with.
What discussions are students having about with new development?
With my students, I had them read an article about how high-speed computing was being used to find a treatment for the virus. And what they realized was a project that we worked on last year was very similar. So it was kind of cool, like the project they worked on in class where they were predicting whether cancer tumors were cancerous or not, or benign, was really similar. So I said, hey, you guys are doing this, but just at a smaller scale. So it was kind of cool, and I think they made the connection, so it was good.
All right. How might wearable technology, medical technology such as Fitbits or smartwatches have an impact on the fight against COVID-19?
I think they're definitely going to play a part in it, because they've already done it with the flu, the regular flu. They can predict before symptoms show up. And I think right now what they're doing is trying to get the same thing to work for COVID. They're trying to have a wearable or a Fitbit that will detect if you have it before you show any signs. So that's really promising, and hopefully that's going to come out soon.
All right. Are there any local universities or business involved in this COVID-19 treatment or
Yes,
research?
definitely. Yes. CMU is mainly, they're doing a lot of things with the state. They're creating a data dashboard that we're going to use when we start to reopen things. They're studying a lot of data, and they're going to be showing that data to the state government to say, should we keep continuing to opening things? So CMU is playing a big role. The University of Pittsburgh, through the medical school, is working on the vaccine. So that's a big part of everything. And the other thing is CMU is designing an app that's in beta that people can put on their phones to see if they've been exposed. So when people are able to go out, it'll make them feel safer. So they'll be able to have this app, and it will notify them if they're around somebody that's tested positive. So a lot of stuff in Pittsburgh's happening. So it's not good. It's exciting that we're a part of it, but it's not exciting that we have to deal with it. So.
All right. Lastly, is there anything you want people to know about computer science that they already don't know?
Well, I think a lot of people have a perception of it that's very narrow, and I think that it's just breaking into so many areas and it's in everything. And I always tell my classes that, but I think it's a really good example to see how it's being used with the COVID-19, because the opportunities are really abundant. And, if people would just take a course and see if they like it or not, maybe it's not for everybody, but the opportunities are there. So I just, want to say, hey, think about it. The jobs and opportunities are there. And, you're never going to know till you give it a try.
All right, well, thank you so much. We hope you and your family continues to stay safe and healthy. Now let's get back to Tim and Tom with the show.
Thanks.
Thanks, Braden. The Franklin Regional Librarians are very excited to announce the free book delivery program. Starting today, all Franklin Regional students can request up to 5 library books to be delivered directly to their home. All information is located on the Franklin Regional School website. Earlier today, I was joined by Sam Cavalier, who's a student at Franklin Regional High School, who gives their input on online learning. Hello, everyone. I'm joined here by Sam Cavalier, a junior at Franklin Regional High School. Sam, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Sam, what are you doing to keep you busy while at home?
I've been preparing for AP exams. I've been more active because our new soccer coach reached out to us and asked us to get off the couch a little bit, start working out. So I've been going on runs and biking. And
that's good. With more independence in your time, independence of time in your schedule, do you think that online learning is easier or difficult or more difficult to manage?
I think it's harder. Honestly, there are a lot more distractions at my house. This is bad, but in school, the only distraction is my phone. But at home, there's my couch or my bed or my fridge. And I'm not very good with time management, so spreading out my work has been a bit of a challenge, but, it all gets done.
Yeah, that's good. What do you miss most about not being at school?
My friends.
Yeah.
Nicole and I used to get Dunkin' like twice a week in the morning, and I miss doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be everybody's number one what they miss. So, do you think what is happening now around the world will affect us going into the fall and our senior year?
I personally think so, only because of what I've read so far, and I know that it takes a long time for a vaccine to be created, but I'm no professional, so
yeah, I
don't know.
And do you have any show that you've been binge watching during quarantine?
Oh my gosh, so many. Well, I've been watching How to Get Away with Murder, and then I finished that. Now I'm on All American. Yeah, I guess just the two then, not that many.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is there anything, and finally here, is there anything you want to say to the people around the community?
I'm seeing a lot of people on like Snapchat or Instagram complaining about how they hate the quarantine, but this is kind of what we all have been asking for the year. Everyone says that they want a break or just to get away from school, and now this is what we finally have. So
right,
take advantage of it, sleep in, apply for schools, that type of stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today, Sam. And stay safe, stay home, stay healthy. All right.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Now we're going to head back over to Tom, the rest of the news.
We would still love to see some videos of you and what things you are doing to pass the time. You can send us your short video clips of things that you are doing while you're at home at shstv@franklinregional.k12.pa.us. We will try to air a few of those next week. We have one video that we would like to share and would make you smile. You may remember 5-year-old Aubrey from a video that we aired during our holiday telethon in December. Well, she's back with a quick video about what she's doing at home.
Hi everybody. My name is Audrey and I'm 5 years old and I'm going to paint since I'm stuck at home. I'm going to be yellow. He's going to be like orange. Now I need to draw my eyes and my nose and my mouth. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Yeah. I'll draw my legs really short and I'm sitting down. Kitty's going orange. Since orange and yellow are best friends of mine. For this one, I'm going to draw a circle.
Can you move your head a little bit? Thank you. Oh, the other way. Perfect.
Yeah, because then my head will be with the camera. All in my head. So that's very funny and very interesting. He's cute. Today, Kay went into my well fort. And me and Mommy Davy know. I'm just going to color it, put some red on top of it so everybody will know. Yeah. Because yours are pretty big. Let's do blue. What about a little? Actually, his eyelids are blue. Oh, I messed up. What kind of little teeny tiny nose? Well, that's tucked into his body, see? Too bad I can't watch the video. My body kind of went as a 4. But it's okay. So now that I'm done, we just gotta let it dry. I'm really glad for all of you to watch this with me. Thank you so much.
Make sure everybody's staying safe out there. And if you have any good videos to show us, even if it's just a funny TikTok you made, make sure you send them to us before next week.
Tune in next Friday at 1 p.m. for our next episode. But now, I've been Thomas Nicely. Have a great weekend, everybody.
And I've been Timothy J. Quinn. The J stands for just understand that the only reason we're wearing Hawaiian shirts this week is because I watched The Outer Banks, and now it's my favorite show. Have a good weekend.